Hey, Lynette. How's it going? Long time no see. I still can't see you, but long time no chat? I don't know. Just posting in all the places and then I'll get started on hacking. All right. How are things? Hopefully life is treating you well enough. Right now it's impossible for me to go outside. It's over 100 degrees Fahrenheit right now. And it stays like that until nightfall. That's like what? More than 22 degrees Celsius or something? All right, input management. So the issue I have is the combo for the player. Hopefully that's large enough on your screen. Let me see if I can actually change the camera. My camera logic is kind of half baked right now, but it might work. Scale. So I've got my camera scale. What happens if I set the scale to 2? Yeah, that might be easier to see. Yeah, and it looks like my map editor still works, so maybe the camera scale is fine. Okay, so the issue is, so I have jump, and you can buffer. So you can buffer your movements. I have block. You can turn. While you're running, you can issue a block, and it'll do your block. All that works. And now what I'm working on is attack. So the problem is, hey Levy, how's it going? Where we left off last time, Podo, what's up? Was that when I pressed attack, it would attack twice. Oh, I did? I suppose I did. It's fine. Where the hell did I post it? Sample apps? I don't even know where I post things anymore. I posted it in DR tiled. Nice. All right, delete message. There we go. It's whatever window I had last open. That's what I post to. I have no idea what I'm doing, as you should already know. Okay, so the problem is, let me bring back OBS. Right. All right. So the problem is if I press X, if I give the window focus and press X, it does 2 attacks, and I don't want that to happen. If I hold X, that works. If I press X twice, that works, but it's probably working because pressing X once does this. And that's kind of where we left off. So I fixed the map loading. That was an error on my part, just with the initialization of the game. So now I should be able to record gameplay. So pressing X, holding X, and then pressing X twice. Those are the 3 scenarios that I want. Okay, let's make sure the replay works. That's the erroneous one. That's the hold. And that's the tap twice. So pressing once is what I need to fix. So I have calc. I need to go to player. Action calc light attack. So I do have attack pressed. I think the issue is this part right here. So let's see what happens if I remove it. So I'll remove it, and I'll set my replay and reset to that replay. Right, so number 1 worked, number 2 doesn't work, and number 3 doesn't work. So attack held. What if I set attack held to only trigger the if it's within 2 frames of the attack being completed? What happens there? Let's see. That worked. That did not work. And that didn't work. All right. So what if it's attack held for... I'm just like randomly putting in numbers now, and I'm not thinking about the problem. How many frames does light attack have? 12. So what about halfway through the attack? None of them work. What? That was weird. Okay. It that kind of works right there. Yeah, I think I need to think about how the hell I'm going to do this. Okay. So if I just spam attack, spamming doesn't work. What happens if I change this to attack held? Okay, that's good. So attack pressed. So if attack has been pressed, then the question is, I don't know. The problem is I don't know at what point in the attack the current action is at. So what does action complete look like? It looks at the elapsed time. Okay, so I need the duration minus the elapsed time. And that's my future time that I need to put it at. So our future time would be all right, so if I press attack twice, do I add 1 to this? You have come back with a vengeance. Welcome. Everything's terrible still. Let's see if it's actually getting here. It's not even getting there. Because attack held is it shouldn't be getting attack pressed? Args that output do I have a watch function already? I think I created a watch function. No, I didn't. All right, the current action should be light attack. Okay, so we are definitely getting into this function. I'm not capturing attack pressed in my input requests. Yep. Stream overload, watching YouTube on TV, and that's great. I've seen people with the Apple Vision having similar setups. They'll be playing a game, watching TikTok, watching something on YouTube or a movie on YouTube all at the same time. Okay, so now I'm capturing attack pressed. Did I save? No, of course not. Okay. All right, that's good. I have elapsed time coming in now. Okay, I'm getting into the here. And I don't have to queue the callback. I guess I can just say queue action. Light attack 2 maybe? Wrong number of options. Queue action. Queue action at future time. I have no idea what I'm doing. Okay, that's better. Sort of. How is queue action working these days? Process next action. I am not. I need to return if the kernel tick count is less than at. So we missed that on the scalar update. It's working scalarly. I don't know if it's working spectacularly yet. So it's queuing that net. It is queuing that next action. It is a spectacle. Y'all are not helping. Y'all are part of the spectacle. Just saying. So we can get the current tick count and then future time, and see what it's set to. Because I want to queue at that future time. So the current time was 10:235, and the future time was puts action. Let me see what the current action is set. I don't know your code base, so I can't really help there, but you're missing updates on the code to support scalar action queue line 103. I can post the latest code for those that are interested. You're just making up random lines, aren't you? It's definitely line 622. It's like there's not even 622 lines in this thing. Trolls. All right, so XX. All right, so light attack is the action. The current tick count is 838, and the future is supposed to be 14901. What is the duration of the current action? So the duration should be about 12 frames, 6 frames per second, 12 times 6, so an entire second. $72 frames. I'm assuming that's correct. $12 and 6. Is that correct? Yep, 72. So 72 frames. And then what is future time? Minus kernel tick count. So 64 frames. So Q action, light attack 2 at 249, which seems reasonable. So for Q action, it sets the next action, but where am I actually processing the next action? Okay, there I am right there. I'm not clearing next action after it's set. That's the problem. So after setting it, I need to set next action to nil. Maybe that'll do it. Yeah, let me see the code base. I'll give it a comment or two and see what makes sense. Nothing makes sense. I can already tell you this. Nothing makes sense. Subscribing with Prime, don't do that. Why would you ever do something so ridiculous? Thank you. I make ones of dollars every year off of my streaming. Let's see when it's trying to queue this action. Return if next action at is less than kernel tick count. It is. Oh, wait. Is greater than. Hello, unnamed AF. Oh, 8-bit. How's it going? Okay, wait. This is getting better. So idle gets set. This scalar change is throwing a wrench into things. Everything is very confusing. Okay. So there's the idle. It happens on action complete. So do I have to do and not next action? So if there isn't a next action, then and only then should I queue an idle. Okay, that's better. It's a frame late though. So I want to cut out 2 frames. Still not correct. Okay, what am I trying to say? If attack is pressed and the action is a light attack, I want to set the future time to when the light attack started plus its duration minus 2 frames. The scalar change should just be finding where the 0th element of the next action is referenced. There we go. All right, so if it's held, that works. If it's spammed, that works. If it's pressed once, that works. Yes, all 3 of them work. So just to check the replay, held. Yep, all 3 work. All right, so what did we learn from this? Is there any pattern that is emerging? All right, if we're buffering and the attack is being held while the last 2 frames are in play, then we immediately queue light attack 2, which works. If we're attacking and then we press attack again, then we queue the action for the future time minus those same 2 frames. So attack and run, does that feel good still? Yep, that feels good still. And if we press attack and the action's complete, it idles. I like that. So the action will get overwritten if I spam twice and then hold run. That looks to have worked. I'm not handling for block. By the way, I don't use Prime Sub very often, but maybe Twitch algorithm uses it for higher rankings. I don't know. I the I rarely stream. Just with my schedule, I'm trying to stream as much as I can. But I'm so far away from any kind of yeah, real income. It's more about capturing real world development that I can reference later if people have a question or something. So I'm not handling block, and this goes back to the whole permutation issue that we were talking about previously, where we've got various actions and making sure that each state handles each specific action. So let's so what we have in here is okay, if everything is empty, it's not handled, which makes sense. Hello again, Nightmare. Yeah, we got the spamming of the attack working. So holding works, and then just pressing once also works. So the queuing system is working, but yeah, it's still difficult to reason about, and I'm trying to find some kind of pattern that I'm just not aware of at this point, and I don't know what that pattern will be. So following input not handled. So we've got this idea of a no input action, maybe, and that's if. Yep, that looks good. Can I ask what font? The font is awesome. It is a great font. It costs money, but it is totally worth it. And that is the name of the font. Dank Mono. It is the best font. Alacrity doesn't have ligatures, but the font supports ligatures also, and the ligatures are really nice. But yeah, like if I use it here, so equal then greater than becomes an arrow. Not equal to becomes that. There's a couple of other ones. Yeah, there's one where. There we go. But the ligatures are really nice, and Dank Mono has. It differentiates between L and 1, which is nice. It's like, is that a 1 or an L? So some of the serifs and stuff are really good in the font too. In fact, I'm going to change this to Dank Mono because it's an awesome font. But yeah, totally worth it. Totally worth it. If not, no input action, then print out what's missing. Yeah, see, this isn't. I was thinking like this fall through clause would help me capture what I'm not handling for, but it's not doing what I want because I'm missing block inside of these scenarios right here. So if you spam and then press block, I want the block to overwrite the second attack essentially. So let's see what that would look like. So else if so same concept of a future time. Less 2 frames, and this should be block. Let's remove the replay because I don't need that anymore. So if I do attack block, yep, that looks good. If I do attack, but then intercept with the block, that looks good. Attack held. Press attack once, followed by a block. Yeah, that looks good. All these are looking better. So, yeah. All right, so we have all these calcs. So am I going to have to go through, anytime I add a new input capability or like maneuver, do I have to go through each one of these? So calc action jump. If they were not on ground, then they are on ground. Then they are on ground. You land. If they're falling, then you set to fall. During the jump itself, so calc action jump doesn't take into consideration blocking or anything. What about, so what's the next one? And see, now I have this like one-off thing that I don't know what to do with. Unconditionally fall. Calc action fall is eventually leads to land. See, Nightmare. I'll actually post this one to YouTube. The other one had botched audio, so I didn't post that recording, but I'll post this one. All right, so calc action run. So if attack is held, then we queue a light attack. If it's jump, then we queue in a jump. If it's block, we queue in block. If the way that it's being, the way that it's facing continues to be the same direction, then I set DX. If it's in the opposite direction, then I queue a run stop. Or if left right is completely idle. Okay, and then the transition to run stop. Following it like this is gonna just not be good. But I don't know how else to look through these things. Okay, so run stop. If attack is being held, I do a light attack, which I think makes sense. So attack, run stop, attack. Both of those transitions look good. Jump. Run stop, jump. Yep, I immediately, I guess I can just even remove the action complete aspect of it. Yep. And that's fine, and then idle. But block isn't handled in run stop. So maybe Q action block start. So on run stop. So that looks better. It's so subtle. It's even hard to see that frames are being interrupted or not. But it's there. So light attack 2 is completely unhandled for at this point. You go straight into idle. I think that's okay. It's a smaller delay. I mean, it's a longer delay. I actually like that longer delay. So for light attack, instead of doing the 2 frames, what do y'all think? Should I cut the 2 frames or not? You could set up a frame advance system to check each frame definitively instead of by visual feel. Okay, it looks better when player lifts the shield. Yeah, I agree. For frame advance, I do. I've got my like slow mo thing. So there goes the idle, and then the block start. There's the light attack. I guess the light attack was too fast. There we go. Wait, did I just break something? So attack pressed again. There we go. There's our second attack. Block. Yep. But something that I wanted to try to do was like kind of like input simulation where I say, yeah, starting on this frame, issue, XXR1 with these delays in between. But I have to create the DSL for that. So yeah, I think short circuiting the block isn't worth it. So again, here's the problem, right? I have actions and the state the I have input and then the current action that the player's in and whether I should respond to that specific input. And it's not cut and dry because I was like, "Oh, I should totally handle for block." But it's better if I don't handle for block and let it fall through to idle. Anyways, yeah, this is a good point to commit. My commit messages are horrible for solo dev projects. Yeah, The idea I have, or what I want to do, is have like have kind of like a metroidvania feel to it, but I'm I'm pushing for a Returnal style like flow system. So if you don't take damage, if you haven't played Returnal on PS5, do it. It's an amazing, really fun game. But yeah, I kind of want to, okay, like player movement, you're dodging bullets, you jump, you block, you jump, and then I think I want to do air attacks next. Attack something, roll, block, and just have that. Yeah, so just you get into that zone where you don't take any damage, and you're moving around, like moving and dodging all the bullet hell, and then taking out enemies. And I want to get that feel, but slower. Yeah, so deliberate action, deliberate movement, planning of your next movement. Still a lot going on, but not twitchy. But yeah, I think air attack would be next. Well, that was kind of weird. That collision at the corner. It's gonna be hard to capture again. Okay, so let's get air attacks working now. Yeah, let me show you what they look like. Um, I think he actually provided sprite sheets for the attacks. So there's your so there's your air attack. And air heavy attack. There's your 3-hit combo. But yeah, so there's like a down smash, 2 light attacks and 1 heavy attack for air. I'm not sure what that transition will look like. So if you after that, I guess you just stop moving. Let's look at the actual A sprite itself. So the question is, will air attack be 2 hits, or doing an air attack does it bring out both? I'm thinking separate hits. But yeah, let's integrate that. Go into my all sprites, PSD. I have got to think of a better way to manage these. It's such a pain in the ass to get everything aligned. It really is. So air attack, where's my finder? So that's the jump frame. I probably don't need that frame. So that looks like the start of the second attack. What does the recovery look like? It doesn't look like there's any recovery frames for after the first attack. So we can see what that looks like with the fall. Okay. I accidentally added something. All right, so those are your attacks. Rasterize layers. Move those into air attack. I guess I'll align it with jump. No, I want to align it with the fall maybe. Okay. Take the air attacks. Select all of them. Transform to 180%. Move them over. Maybe right there. Possibly. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. 16. Unselect that one. Wait, did I accidentally move this one? Yes, I did. Son of a bitch. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, I think that looks centered. 4 through 9. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Photoshop needs modal editing. How can people use these tools? Making me count pixels. Shit, I lost count. And I'm probably not going to get it right, and then I'm going to have to do pixel pushing again. Lost count again. The pressure of streaming live, you have to be able to count. Okay. So that's our first attack right there. Export that as PNG, and we'll see what it looks like in game. Player. air attack.png. Okay. Back to the stream. You could set up a frame-by-frame advance. I think it looks better with the character lifting a shield, yeah. Returnal's really great, yep. Yeah, air movements looks good, and lots of different variations, which is nice, but there are a lot of different variations. So for our sprites, we've got player air attack, how many frames? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 frames. So air attack, frame count is 8. And the sprite sheet would be player air attack, I believe. Yep. Okay, so I guess I want to... This should be part of jump and fall. So do I need a concept of in air? Probably. Does this help though? I don't know. Do I want attack held or attack pressed? I'm assuming attack pressed. So here's the problem, right? So if I do a jump, then I wouldn't be able to do the air attack until they start to fall. Right? So idle, jump, fall, land. So I have to handle for both. I have to handle for that attack on both fall and land. But let's get jump working, and then we'll figure out the fallout. Okay, that totally didn't work. Because I'm probably screwing up here. So maybe it needs to go first. I'm hating all these input precedence issues. And maybe this is unconditionally evaluated. I don't know. Possible confounding factor is landing while doing an air attack, which could cause a big issue depending on other infrastructure, yeah. How close are you to the ground? Are you going to be hitting the ground on the next frame? Those kind of things. Well, one thing I'm going to add to the air attack is that it's going to push you up a little bit. So your DY is going to increase. You're not going to continue falling, so you'll float in the air. So that might be okay. So why isn't it getting here? Okay, it is getting there. It's just not doing anything. Stupid. Okay, let me set regular attack to the air attack and make sure that those frames look good. Yeah, so it should be working. But the problem here is, what is the problem? Is it because I'm unconditionally... It should cure an air attack. What the deuce? Fall is intercepting the land. I mean the queue of the air attack. What if I said dy equal to 6? Light attack. Air attack. Frame count is 8. All right. Okay, so fall, it's intercepting on the fall. It's still setting the fall somewhere. Right here. Yeah, my spidey sense was tingling with regards to this conditional, and it looks like it's causing issues. Okay. When was the last time I had Wingstop? Last Friday. It's an every Friday thing. Every Friday. I can't do the neck twitch thing. Q action fall. I need a handle for land in that scenario. A part of me feels it's structured, and at the same time, a part of me feels like this is just spaghetti code turned into raviolis. Like, it's ravioli code. It's just as bad. It's just as bad. So else if action is air attack. Calc action air attack. If action complete, then what? I don't know. Do I go back to fall? Okay, that fixed that issue. So jump, attack. I need more DY. What is my DY set to? 3. What about 4? Make extra sure that the code making the player fall isn't executing on every frame when the velocity is negative, or else 1. Yeah, and I think that's what's happening. Was that what I had in here in calc actions? I was checking fall. And I think this is incorrect. I don't think this should be there. It comes out so slow, doesn't it? You'd think you'd want that to be faster. Yeah, that's why I was setting the consider reducing the speed. Yeah. So if for the air attack, or calc action jump, it's gonna drive me insane. So I was setting dy to 4, but maybe it needs to be 6. That's a very slow animation, though. What if I set the hold 4 to 4 frames instead of 6? I think that looks a little bit better. What about 5 frames? Hello, Lawa Soft. Yeah, and it might be like now the dy feels too high. Maybe dy 5. Yeah, and the transition back to a fall isn't great either. Maybe air attack needs to include both. Let's see what it looks like. All right, so if I go back to assets, sprites, attack, air attack. Yeah, maybe I should include all the frames. 17 frames. Let's try that. More pixel pushing and more counting. Select all. Transform. 180 by 180. Move all the things over. Maybe that's positioned well. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Maybe a little bit lower. Maybe too low. Maybe right there. Rasterize all these. Rasterize layers. This is so boring. I wish I could make this more entertaining, but I can't. Maybe side bets on whether I lose my count or not. Almost there. One more. Okay. Save. Export, quick export PNG. Air attack, replace. How many frames do we have now? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16 frames. 16 frames. Sorry, I had chat minimized. Yeah, and like the art assets are amazing, but I think this is a facet of having an artist that understands game dev versus having just a really good artist. And I think this person is an incredibly good pixel artist, but they didn't take into consideration all these manual things that have to be done, and it affects things. I'm making it a sheet for simplicity. So if we look at my player prefab, so my prefab ends up this is the source for my prefab. So I look up the action. There's like a breathing thing that can occur randomly if they're an idle, but outside of that, I take the action, I look at the sprite sheet, and then I do my source computation based on that for your offsets. And it's easier to edit, as you notice. Because if I have to shift all of the, let's say if I screwed up the centering, I can just select all of them and then shift them all down and left and down, as opposed to opening every single file independently and doing that. But that's basically it. I lost the count. How many were there? 17 for light attack or air attack? Let's say it was 17. 16 or 17. One of the two. 16. All right. 2 votes for 16. All right, so jump. Reset. I think I like having all the frames on one. And maybe have them come out faster. And then the dy was set to what? I think 6? I set it to 5. What about 6? And I almost want another bump at the second attack. And I have to get fall working. Is it as simple as just setting fall here? Light attack or air attack. So I have calc actions, air attack. Mostly I want the second attack to come out faster. It feels so much like a manually triggered second attack. Yeah, so I set the speed to 4 frames. Let's set it to 3 frames. Just have both of them come out fast. But it makes all the other attacks look really sluggish. I don't know the answer. Yeah, 6 is way too slow. What if I speed up everything? What could possibly go wrong? Maybe 5. You know, okay, let me put it back to 6, and I can remove some frames from the air attack. There might be too many in between frames. Let's see if I can figure out. So all right, I think if I remove this frame and then shift everything over and which frame? Okay, so take all these 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we delete that frame. And maybe this frame. Let's see if that makes it feel any better. It's now 14 frames. And then, what was I saying? I need to add another bump halfway through. So if action at that elapsed time is equal to halfway through, then set the dy equal to 6.5 again. Let's see what that looks like. Maybe 4. Q air. So I set the dy to 6, but it doesn't feel like it's 6. Should I just set it to 0? No, that just completely drops them like a rock. That's too high. What about 4? Maybe, where was I? Elapsed time equals 1. 2 frames maybe? 1 frame? I don't know. Let's try 6 frames. There we go. That looks good. That feels good. Mostly I want a second attack to come out faster. Feels much like it's manually triggered. Yeah. That feels a little bit better. Not advocating for anything. I wonder how funny Q callback, Q action would react. How'd you really use Levy? Stop. Stop right now. You're wanting to create a pushdown automata for the sake of creating a pushdown automata. I want to derive it. I want to derive the pushdown automata. Am I heading towards that? Am I heading towards that concept? They're nice, but understanding the final pattern is only half the story. You have to understand how to you have to understand all the spectrums in between. I did read your disclaimer, but it's you, Levy. You want advanced concept, and you want advanced concept applied to simple problem. Period. Crazy. 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 Shocked. Uh-huh. The fall isn't lining up correctly either. There's like a weird... It's got a weird little thing happening. That's the first attack. There's your second attack. It just looks weird. Maybe it's just in my head. What if I set the frame count to 13? Just get rid of that last frame. Yes, it looks weird in action, but slowed down, it looks fine. What about 12? What if I get rid of 2 frames? Yeah, that looks better. All right, so you're running. You do an attack. Roll feels like another. Let me set it to. I want to see if I can split up the light attacks into 2 separate things. So how many frames is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So what if I just do 6 frames? I want to see what the fall looks like. That's not terrible. Maybe I can make it. Maybe I can split it up. It's not extremely graceful. But it's also not. What about 8 frames? Nope. 7 frames. Yeah, that doesn't look bad. So yeah, maybe I can split it up. With the second op, it really feels like 2 attacks. Yeah, and I agree. I think having 2 separate attacks, so air attack and then air attack _2, and then this will have this will have the same logic as the buffering on the ground attack. So that's air attack. And how many? What did I do? Am I gonna have to do counting again? Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So that's the 7th frame. Okay, so quick export. And we might have to cut some frames off of the second air attack too, just to give it a little bit more speed. And then this can be air attack 2. All right, So we have air attack 1 and air attack 2. Yeah, the idle air transition, it didn't look like there was anything in there. Just like right there, right? But these are placeholder sprites. I'm going to eventually, add my own styling aesthetics to them. So air attack. So elapsed time at 6, we'll bump them up a little bit. And we want to look at light attack and how did we handle that? All right. So same deal here, except we don't want 2 frames. All right, let's see what this does. Attack held. Air attack 2. And I forgot how many frames I had. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, also 7 frames. But didn't we cut out 2 of them? I think. Let's try 5 frames. And calc actions. Same deal there. 1 frame in, we'll set the DY. And then after action complete, we'll set it to fall. Feels kind of okay. Where were we? We were at calc attack. Because I want to get the calc air attack. So we have our action held in place. Else if input requests. If attack has been pressed, then we want to queue the action. Do we want to do -2 frames? I don't think so. And we want to queue air attack 2. So that should handle the spam. Let's verify. And I think I want to change the direction too. So if they do the air attack and then hold left, I want to switch the direction. Does this even happen is the question. No, it doesn't. What is our action at? 1. Okay. So 0 never occurs, which is a weird thing with the queuing of the action, I guess, because the processing of the action queue happens after the calc. So we never get a 0. These weird timing things, I don't know how to resolve them. It's not a push-down automata. It isn't. I'm not going to throw away all this code just to on a speculative pattern, just saying. All right, so if I attack, but I also want him to go in that direction. That feels not terrible. Also want to do the same thing for the initial air attack, maybe, possibly. There's also a delay, or I want to be able to have a delay. So if I do an air attack and then after one air attack is done, throw out a second one, I also want that to work. I need to get fall working. And I probably have to do a count of how many air attacks were performed and disable it. Yeah, because then you can just air attack all day, which might not be terrible. Kind of like in Smash. I think it's a good point to commit. Probably just one air attack and then one air attack too. I was thinking that, but I remember in Smash, like if you play Marth, you can do your forward airs to gain space, but you only get one like triple jump kind of thing. Yeah, and that weird land, it's gonna be a little bit tricky right there on the land. The camera movement's kind of annoying too when you're in the air. Another question is, do I want to add double jumps? Um, of course. Yeah, like fly around the map kind of thing. The fluidity in the motion would be nice, given that you lack speed. And that might be a power up. The spam isn't working. What the deuce? Oh, because I'm still holding forward. Light attack. It's still not working. Oh, wrong area. Excuse me. Calc light attack. Wait. Calc light attack. There we are. There we go. Good. Oh, fucking hell. How do you ban stupid things? One day I'll figure this out. Block. Report. Spam. Spam. Please tell us more. It's spam. Spam. I got spam. Do I even have enough people to even constitute spam? Oh, there's quite a few. Oh, I can do /ban. I'll try that next time. Hey, Spambot, come in here so we can /ban you. Ban you. Light attack 2. Action complete, Q action idle. Attack. Less frames 2. So attack, block, attack and block, hold, jump. I gotta fix that. I think it looks okay. I do want to potentially add another jump action. All right, air attacks. And I'm stuck on block start. That's great. I don't know why. Managing all these states and transitions is going to be hell. I don't know. I can pinpoint when I want to make a change or tweak something. It's air quotes obvious where I need to make the change. But the whole idea of like, have I captured all the transitions correctly and does it flow? The permutations are still going to be insane. Yeah, so like even here, just a light attack and a jump, doing an immediate jump after the light attack. It's just I have to try all these different movements as I play. So calc light attack. I am handling for jump, but it has to be held. It's not buffered like like it is for the attack. Yeah, so if I do attack and then jump, I have to actually hold jump for it to actually issue it. All right. I'm going to grab some food and stuff, and I might get back on and stream some more in a few hours. We'll see. But I think this is a good stopping point. But yeah, I'll post when I stream again, and hopefully the audio isn't screwed up in this stream, so I'll upload this to YouTube for posterity. But yeah, I need to start thinking about the first 20 seconds, what that will feel like. The movements feel good, or there are enough move sets for me to start exploring the wider gameplay arc. Maybe. Don't know. But see, the problem is I would like to post the source code somewhere for y'all to play around with. The issue is the assets, right? The licensing for that is my own ownership. So posting the assets in a public repo is the tricky part. Anyways, we'll figure that out. All right, y'all have a good one. I'll post online if I end up streaming again. Probably 50-50 chance. Y'all have a good one.